Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Thesis, and today I'm presenting my research proposal titled "The Perceived Utility of 90s English Pop Songs for Enhancing Long-Term Vocabulary Recall and OFL Learners, AFL Students." Uh, we begin in Chapter 1 with the background. We know that acquiring a strong vocabulary is essential for achieving proficiency in English. While classroom instruction is fundamental, the study of focus is on incidental learning, acquiring vocabulary through materials learners chose themselves. Music is a potent source of such meaningful as mnemonic device that supports memory and language acquisition through rhythm, rhyme, and melody, which supports memory. Device that anchors. I'm sorry. Justification. Why the 90s pop? The current study is specific, focusing on the 90s English pop song. We chose this period for three key reasons. Lyrical clarity. Compared to many modern genres, 90s pop often features clearer, simpler lyrical structures. This makes vocabulary easier to isolate and understand. Melody repetition. These songs are for earworms, accessible, repetitive melodies. Repetition combined with the emotional connection of music enhance the encoding and support long-term memory reconsolidations. Sorry. Cultural familiarity for my target group, adult AFL students age 18 and older. This music is often nostalgic and familiar. The familiarity lowers than effective filter, making them more motivated and receptive in learning process. I'm sorry. Statement of problem and key questions. This brings us to a statement of the problem. Despite the general research on music and language, there is a gap consenting the specific concerning the specific impact of this genre on long-term recall vocabulary. The learners perceive utility of the method. To address this, we formulate three key research questions. So these are statements questions. These three, and then and for the to address this, we formulate three key research questions. Why is the perceived utility of 90s pop songs vocabulary recall? How frequently do adult learners listen to these songs? Is there a significant correlation between the perceived usefulness and actual long-term vocabulary retention? Okay, that's the research questions. It's almost similar. Okay, so for now we're talking about hypothesis. Our central hypothesis is clear. There is a significant positive relationship between the perceived usefulness of 90s English pop songs and long-term vocabulary recall among adult FL students. And then the significant, and the next significant. Okay, sorry for. The significance of the study is broad. If confirmed, our findings will directly benefit EFL educators by providing evidence for integrating authentic pop culture into lessons. They will also guide curriculum planners and encourage adult learners to embrace highly motivational, self-directed learning strategies. Yes. That's a significance. Okay, this is a definition of terms. They are perceived utility. That's a explanation. Vocabulary call, explanation like that. And if you students, it's like that as well. And then that's a definition of terms. For the scope. Before moving on, I must define the boundaries of research. The scope of our study is strictly limited to adult learners age 18 and older, focuses only on the 90s pop genre. Limitations. It is essential to note that this is a correctional design. While we can establish a strong relationship, we cannot define discipline, establish causations. There's a causations. We are only measuring reported perception of character scores. Okay, let's go for chapter 2. Moving into chapter 2, we ground this research in existing literature and theory. Like this. That's the explanation like here. And then for the theoretical framework, question input hypothesis must provide the necessary comprehensible input or I plus 1 in a fun, non-training context. And then effective filter hypothesis, because it is enjoyable, it lowers the psychological barrier. The effective filter to making the learner more open and receptive to linguistic input. And then dual coding theory by Vivio, this is the key. Lyrics provide the verbal code, while the melody and rhythm provides a non-verbal emotional code. The simultaneous processing of these two codes creates stronger, more durable memory traces of this for the vocabulary items. And then like this, theoretical framework, and then conceptual framework. This is I can show you the diagram. Shoot. And where is it? Hold on. We'll show the diagram later. Conceptual framework. Our independent variable is a learner registering exposure to 90s English pop songs. This exposure, along with other factors, influence our meditating variable, which is the perceivability or belief that the songs are helpful. Ultimately, more factors are hypothesized to influence dependent variable. Long-term vocabulary code measure what test scores. Our main research will focus on the relationship between perceivability and recall. Hold on. Before we move in chapter 3, I want to show you something. Hold on. Just hold on for once. Hold on. Where is it? Like this picture here. One. That's the theoretical framework, and this is the picture. Like that. It's a bit circle. And then we move on to chapter 3. Chapter 3, methodology. research methodology. Finally, chapter 3 details the methodology we will use to test our hypothesis. This is the research design. The research design is quantitative and correlational. Our goal is to measure the strength and the directional relationship between perception and performance. Population sample. We will use proportion sampling to select participants who are active EFL learners age 18 or older and have baseline familiarity with 90s pop genre. Target sample size. We are targeting a robust sample size of 100 adult EFL learners to ensure sufficient statistical power for our analysis. I'm sorry for some mistakes here. Okay, so for the instrument. Okay, so research instruments. We employ two primary instruments: the perception questionnaire. This likely scale instrument captures a meditating variable, asking students about their beliefs in the song's usefulness and their exposure frequency. Let's see. The vocabulary retention test. This is the dependent variable measure. It's a 40-item test where target words are carefully selected from high-frequency 90s pop lyric. Crucially, this test is balanced. 2 items are receptive, like multiple choices, and 20 items are productive, like fill in the blank and demanding deeper recall. Okay, it is the like that. I explain detail. And now for the data collection analysis. Data collection involves a two-step process. First, we administer the questionnaire. Then, to measure long-term recall, the vocabulary test is administered 1 week later. For analysis, we will use descriptive students' means, SDs, and percentage to summarize the learner's perceptions and listening frequency. That's it. So for the value, wait, I haven't explained one thing yet. The primary inferential test is the Pearson correlation to determine if a significant relationship exists between the score and perception questionnaire on the score on the vocabulary test. Okay, validity and reliability. To ensure the trustworthiness of a result, we will uphold rigorous standards for both instruments. Validity contest validity will be established via expert review by experienced FL researchers. Both instruments will be subjected to pilot testing to confirm clarity and relevance. Reliability. We will measure internal consistency using Chrome Watch Alpha for the questionnaire and split half reliability for vocabulary tests. Okay, that's the analysis techniques over here. You can see it. And then for the summary. In summary, this research is a quantitative correlational study involves 100 adult EFL learners to investigate the link between the precipitative 90s pop songs and long-term vocabulary recall. This research is quantitative correlational study involving 100 adult EFL learners to investigate the link between the perceived utility of 90s pop song and their long-term vocabulary recall. Okay, for the conclusion, if we find a significant positive correction, this conclusion will strongly advocate the integrating this highly motivational authentic media into EFL teaching and learning practices, ultimately benefiting adult learners globally. This is the key reference. the key reference here. My research draws on foundation works in research methodologies such as Cohen, Manion, and Morrison. Clear figures like Russian nation which service underpin our framework. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I'm now open to any question that you may have regarding proposal, theory, basis, or methodology. That's all. So, I'm sorry for if I made some mistake. I apologize for the mistakes that I didn't mean it. Yes. Thank you for listening, and you can ask for you can comment for to ask in video. That's in my video. So that's all. See you see you next time. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.